All right, so we had another large dealership chain close their doors. U.S. Auto Sales closed 39 locations. They were also dealing with the subprime lending, just like American Car Center that shut its doors last month. And I really think this is going to be a theme that just continuously happens as we go over the next 6 months, over the next year, because the subprime lending in the used car space right now is so terrible. So I'm a used car dealer. I am able to talk to a lot of these dealers that also deal in this buy here, pay here, this subprime lending. And the issues that they're running into right now is, if we look back 3 years ago, before all the crazy inflated used car prices, they were able to buy cars generally for $3,500, $4,500 to be able to put on their lot and get $1,000 down, $795 down, whatever, and they would mark it up to $69.95, $79.95, and have payments roll out. They have their customers pay 2 monthly payments, and they can have them fully paid off in 18 months, in 2 years. But fast forward to now, those same vehicles that those dealers were having to buy that were $3,500, $4,500, now they're $5,500, $6,500, $7,000 in a lot of cases for the exact same vehicle that they were rolling out, that they were buying for $3,500. What's ended up happening is now they can't sell them for $69.95 and be able to make a decent profit with the amount of risk that they're taking on with these subprime loans. So they're having to sell these cars for $99.99. Yeah, $9,999. They're having to sell them for $11,000, somewhere in that ballpark. Where the problem comes into with these customers is, even though the prices of these vehicles are way more expensive, because they have to be, because the dealers have to pay more money for them, they can't come up with a larger down payment. That $1,000 down, that's all they have. That's all they had then, and right now, that's all they have now. That's all they can afford. And the monthly payments, the $150 every 2 weeks, the $200 every 2 weeks, that's all they can afford. Even though the prices are more expensive now, they don't have more money to be able to increase their monthly payments. This segment of the economy, they are absolutely fixed at these kind of payments to be able to afford a car, to be able to just drive off the lot. They can save up $1,000 and they can afford $400 a month, $300 a month, whatever it is, and they make their payments every 2 weeks. So what is happening with these buy here, pay here dealers now, with these subprime lenders, is they're not able to bring in more money. They're taking on more risk. So what they have to do is they have to extend these loans to be able to get these customers in the car for that $1,000 down, and to keep their payments low enough where they can actually pay them. But the problem is, whenever you get these cars that are sub $10,000 cars, if you extend the payments, the longer the time that these customers are in these cars will have something go wrong with them. And there's a saying, I've said it before on this channel, but with buy here, pay here dealers, people that are making payments to these subprime lenders, customers have money to do one thing. They can either fix the car or they can make their payment. They can't do both. So as these payments get extended on these customers, these cars, they're going to break. And as they break, the customer's not going to fix it. They're just going to let these loans go into default and say, you know what, I can't afford to put a water pump in this car. I can't afford to do this tune-up I need. I can't afford to even really change the tires because they're worn out so bad, and I can't get the car inspected. So I can't make the payment, and I can't fix the car. So you know what? Just take the car back. So now the problem, even if the dealer goes and gets the car and gets their car back, prices have come down, and most likely that car has been beat to death. So these repos that always come in, they're usually trash. There's something wrong with them. Just in the case earlier, there's something mechanically wrong with this vehicle. So this dealer gets this car back, and because they've extended the loan so much and they took less money down as a percentage of what they normally would 3 years ago, now that dealer is actually upside down in this car when they get it back, because that customer, they didn't come up with a higher down payment. So the negative equity is being just transferred to the dealer at that point if the customer didn't make payments for 2 years and then the dealer got back. What we're seeing is that defaults are happening at a higher rate because everything costs more money. So these customers are defaulting faster, and they're having to get these cars repoed earlier than they would have. And these dealers have more money in these cars, so they're having to eat all the losses. And if you have a dealership like US Auto Sales that has 39 locations and they do this across all their locations, defaults go up, repos go up, you have more cars that you're underwater in. At some point, you start taking big time losses. And these big time losses are going to continue. And that's what a lot of these dealers are starting to see. I'm talking to all of these buy here, pay here dealers that I'm around at these auctions, and they're telling me that their repo rates are double what they have been in the normal times. And that's just really going to come back and bite a lot of them in the butt if they're not smart about who they're actually giving these loans to, if they're not smart about how they structure these payments, because with them spending way more money on these vehicles, they have to figure out a way to get their capital back as quick as possible. But like I said earlier, they can't raise the payments on these individuals because these individuals can't afford it. They can afford that $400 a month, and that's it. So it's going to be very hard for a lot of these dealers to actually get their money back out of these cars when the value of used car prices are going down, when these repos are coming in and they're trashed, and they can't just liquidate them at the auction and get their money back because they're going to go for a significantly less price than what they paid for to begin with. All right, so we got another piece of news here. Inventory is at its highest point in nearly 2 years. And if you've been paying attention to the car market, you've seen this happening. You've seen the days on hand start to go up. But one brand, one particular model I want to point out, and what I'm looking at here that's very alarming, and I mean, we could see it coming, but to see the jump is F-150s. And we've been seeing them on lots. I've been going to Ford lots. They're starting to stack up. So in March, we had a day supply of 59 days for these F-150s. And now this month in April, it has jumped already to 84 days. That's a massive jump in just a 30-day time period. And I've even seen other analysts come out and say that no, these numbers are wrong. Ford is channel stuffing, and they have over 100-day supply of these F-150s. And I'm inclined to actually believe these analysts that are coming out and saying that, because I've been to these Ford dealerships. There are F-150s everywhere. They don't have customers there. They're trying to sell F-150s for $75,000. In this environment right now, people are not going to pay that. They can't afford to make the monthly payments on a truck like that. And the people that could have, you know what? In the last year, in the last 2 years, if they were going to go out and buy something, they've already bought it. They know that they made a bad mistake already because all of these market adjustments and everything are coming off. So they're pretty sour about it. So they're not looking to upgrade their truck right now. And a lot of them, they're underwater because they bought that truck, they paid these market adjustments, and that truck that they probably paid $85,000, $95,000 with these market adjustments, it's now worth $55,000, $60,000. They're underwater, and they can't afford to come up with a difference to trade in the new truck. And Ford, all these lenders, they are not rolling negative equity like they used to, and they can't with this amount of negative equity, $35,000, $40,000. There's nothing that these customers can do that have bought these trucks that were way too expensive. They're so far underwater that banks don't want to even touch these things, because if they get involved with these loans where the customer just continues to get $35,000, $40,000 underwater, when stuff starts going sour, and it's already starting to go sour, somebody's going to be holding the bag, and banks don't want it anymore. They signed up for a lot of it last year, 2 years ago, and they're done with it. So now with all of these days supply creeping up, what you're going to start to see, and you've already started to see it with Jeep, Ram, Dodge, incentives are coming, rebates are coming, price drops are coming. I've been to multiple Jeep dealers now, and I have seen all the market adjustments come off. I've even talked to some of the salespeople for Jeep, and they're saying that they have been selling some vehicles for invoice just so they don't lose their allocations. They have to sell cars. So I think really Ford is going to be the next big brand that's you're going to start seeing a lot of these incentives, a lot of these special rates, a lot of these rebates on these cars, a lot of these price drops, because they have so many vehicles available. And really, they're probably channel stuffing. So there's a lot more. When I say channel stuffing, that means that they're actually shipping vehicles, these F-150s, to these dealers more than they can handle. So they can actually say, okay, we moved that truck out now, and now it's the dealer's responsibility or whatever. But the dealer's only supposed to have a certain amount of vehicles on their lot. They're allocated a certain number. And Ford, from what I've been hearing, is actually sending more than what the allocations are. So they can get them out of their plants, get them out of storage, and be able to show them as sales. And what we saw in the last quarter is that Ford's actual retail sales were down, but their fleet sales were up. And eventually, these fleet sales, they're going to have to start going away, because all these companies that were waiting 2-3 years during the pandemic to buy, now they're starting to buy. But they're not going to buy every year. They're going to buy a round of fleet, and they're going to wait another 3 years to be able to buy a whole nother round of fleet vehicles. So right now, that's where a lot of Ford sales are being held up, is from these fleet sales. But that's going to go away soon. So I really think Ford is just going to be the next big automaker that you're going to see a lot of price drops, just because these dealers, they have too many cars and they got to move them, especially if they want to keep allocations coming from Ford. So now, what can we take away from these two different headlines? Both the used car market and the new car market is in big time trouble. Dealers especially. So a lot of these subprime lenders, you're going to see a lot of them close their doors, especially if they're actually leveraging any kind of debt to be able to get vehicles and then take their own loans in-house. That's a big problem right now. And really, we've seen with American Car Center, they're not going to be able to raise any more money because nobody wants to be in this business right now. American Car Center tried to sell some bonds. They tried to raise some more credit. They couldn't do it. All these investors said, no, used car market, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with that. We're seeing repos, seeing defaults go up. And then on the new car side, what we're seeing days supply, your inventory, are going up. These dealers, these franchise dealers, are going to have to sell cars if they want to keep their allocations up, if they want to continue to get cars in. So you're going to see the brands that the day supply are higher, you're going to get the better deals from them. You're going to be able to go in there and negotiate. If you're going to buy right now, I'm still advising people, don't buy right now. Wait it out, because these day supply are only going to go up. The demand is only going down from here. The Fed's motto right now is higher for longer. People are getting squeezed right now, and the economy is getting worse. So be patient. If you want a car, I know, I understand. I want you to be able to go out and buy a car, but I want you to get a good deal. So just wait it out, and we'll see where prices go from here. I think down. I think more incentives are coming. Day supply continue to go up. So just be patient.